Being profitable on Turo is about this one thing: how quickly the car you put on Turo could become profitable. Sometimes there's so many other factors besides the variability of the car that actually accounts for why the car is profitable or a loss. But in this video, I'm going to go through all the things that could account for why a car could become profitable or it could become a loss. I'm going to talk about a car that I have, a profitable car, that finally got into an accident because a guest rented the car right after I just finished doing some minor fixes on it to make the car look better. The guest crashed the car, and now I'm trying to contemplate whether I should get rid of the car or I should fix it up and keep renting it. And at this stage right now, I truly believe that it's time for the car to go. Having it around, I don't think is optimal anymore. It's done its time. I'm thinking it's a time to move into newer cars that are more versatile, more equipped, Apple CarPlay, Android CarPlay, and at the same time getting them at a price point where they're profitable. So we're gonna go all over that. I'm gonna show you the car that I have that got into this whole dilemma. So guys, this is my 2012 Toyota Prius C. I bought this car for $4,383 from the auction. I bought it from a salvage auction. It had a clean title. I fixed it up and I was able to restore the car to good, proper working condition. But over the years I've had this car, I believe I've kept this car for about 2 years. So this car has been through everything with me. This car has been stolen. This car has been damaged. This car has been privately rented, and the renter made away with the car. This car has been rented out to people privately. The renter turned into the person that stole the car and then returned the car and then damaged the car. So I've seen it all. So the last thing that happened to this car was the front bumper was previously damaged, which I fixed. I'm gonna post a picture on the screen of the previous damage. So I decided, this car makes a lot of money. I should do something to make the car look better. So I decided to put it into the body shop. Since some of you guys know, if you look through my content, I run a body shop business. So I put it into the body shop to make sure that it looks good for the renters. As soon as I finished fixing the car, the first guest that rented the car after it was fixed, they caused all this damage. As you can see, they said there was a big box in the middle of the road and they hit it trying to avoid it. And this is all the damage they caused. So they damaged this whole side. You can see the door. There's a scrape right there. There's a damage everywhere. The whole driver's side is gone. They damaged the mirror, damaged the door, whatever they hit, they damaged that, destroyed the fender. The tire was actually flat. The tire pressure light is on. I don't know if we bent an axle, might have bent an axle. I don't know, gotta check that later. The car might be going back to the body shop. But my intention is to sell the car as is. They damaged the headlight, as you can see. Something might be leaking somewhere. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff over there disconnected. They damaged the new front bumper that I just painted. And so on and so forth. But previously, the only damage the car had was just a damage right here to a bumper from a previous renter. A previous guest rented the car and they actually were using it for food delivery or something, and they damaged the front bumper and it had some bruises and scrapes, minor dents and scratches somewhere, which I took it into the body shop to get fixed. Someone tried in the past to steal the car, and in the process of stealing the car, they made all sorts of damages, and all this part of the car was damaged. All this had to be repainted. The damage here, you could even see the buff where the body shop tried to buff the car. They were trying to get in here because the lock box was right here. So I usually have the lock box turned inwards. So when they tried to steal the car and they were not successful, I stopped hanging the lock box on the window. Just right after I finished fixing this car, fixing those damages, because I just felt like whoever's renting the car, it's not fair to them to have a car that doesn't look good. So I fixed everything, and after fixing the car, the first guest that rented the car right after it was fixed took it out on a trip, and boom, damaged the whole car. They caused all the damage I just showed you. And at this point, I'm contemplating whether to keep the car, whether to sell it as is or take it into the shop to get fixed, or just send it to the auction. Copart, IAA, one of them.
Now, let's go into the ad.
Now, today's video is sponsored by me, and my name is Chuchu Moso. As you all know, I'm the solutionist. If you're looking for solution to some of your logistic needs, or your dealership needs, or you're just a regular person trying to buy a vehicle, feel free to get in touch with me. In the description, you'll find my phone number and the link to all my socials. If you're looking to buy a car as a dealer, you're trying to buy as a broker, you're trying to buy as a regular citizen, and you're just trying to find the best available deals through the auctions that are here in the United States, I'm able to get you cars from numerous auctions. Now, after we buy the car from the auction and you want something different, you want to go ahead and pick up the car from the auction and bring it back to your location, I'm also into logistics, and I can manage the logistics from picking up the cars from the auction after bidding the car and winning on your vehicle and delivering it straight to whatever state that you're in, minus Hawaii and Alaska. I also offer export services for the people outside of the United States. Currently, I just bought a vehicle, a 2017 Toyota Sienna, by the filming of this video, and it's going to Nigeria. So these are some of the services that I offer. So I could buy you a car from the bidding process to the winning process, pay for the vehicle, transport the vehicle to your location in the United States or to the port if it's going international. And also, if you need title services, you have issues with titles in your state, for some reason you cannot register the vehicle, you have a lost or missing title, you can also contact me. These are some of the things that I do. If you're here in Chicagoland and you need a vehicle fixed, let's say you get into an accident, it's some of the things that I do. If you look through my catalog of content, you will see vehicles that I fix for numerous individuals here in the Chicagoland area. I also offer mechanical services. Just look at it this way. If it has to do with cars, I'm your guy. So get in touch. And with this said, let's get back to it. And just run it through there and see if I could just cash out on it. I'm already positive on the car, and I'm going to run you through the numbers real quick. How much that I have on the car right now. So I bought the car for $4,383. And after fixing everything on the car and bringing it back to Chicago, all the costs for parts, I was at $6,984.27. I spent an additional $339.65 just doing maintenance on the car. What is maintenance? Just little things, buying small parts that I had to replace, shocks, brakes, oil change. That's what it cost overall, just trying to get the car back in position. 2 private rentals over the course of the years that I owned the car, and I had it on Turo. I made about $1,240 from private rentals. I believe it's more than that, but not all the numbers is accounted for. So that's how much the car made from private rentals. There's another $1,599 that came in through Turo from the first year of rental, and an additional $8,452 that came in on the second year of rental on Turo. And then I spent $700 fixing all the damage that I told you that was previously accumulated by the car when someone tried to steal the car, and when the renter turned car thief, damaged the car, trying to use the car without paying, and by the time they returned the car, the damage that I saw, or the damage that the car incurred, it cost me $700 to fix that. The trip that caused this damage brought in an additional $106.11. So sometimes the juice is just not worth the squeeze. So now let's talk about it. What is the perfect car for Turo, or how do you get profitable on Turo? What is the perfect car to have a nice balance between profitability and income generation? Some say it's Japanese cars. Some say Japanese cars are a perfect balance because they're reliable, they're economic, they have low maintenance. That's what some people say. And some people say buy new cars so that you could just avoid issues, because when you get a new car, it is already new, everything is good to go, so you could get a good 40,000 miles out of it before anything starts going wrong. Minus the oil change and maybe brakes if you get some real aggressive drivers. So that's what some people say. And in other cases, some people say buy cars that have already heavily depreciated, cars that have experienced the first 5 years of their life. Like right now, we're in 2025. Some people say get a car that is 2020 because the first 5 years of a car's life is highly hit by depreciation. So some people get that car so that by the time you buy the car and you run the car for a few months or a year, you will quickly get into the green from the red, because at that point it will be easy for you to do that because profitability is going to be easier. Because when the car is actually depreciating more than you're making income on Turo, that is not a good car to have on Turo. So you ask me, what is the perfect combination for a car on Turo, for a guy that has been on Turo for over 8 years. And I say the perfect combination for a car to have on Turo are the following. The car has to have an ability to earn that surpasses depreciation. That's number one. The car has to become profitable inside a year, a few months if possible. That would be the best case scenario. The car has to have very low maintenance. It has to be a low maintenance car, a car that does not take much to do the oil change, to change tires. It doesn't require a lot in the span of 12 months. Maintenance on this car, tune-ups and stuff like that, is little to negligible. That will be a nice recipe. Another recipe would be a car that attracts the best guests. When I talk about the best guests, I'm talking about guests that have very low probability of damaging your car. Guests that can keep your car running, guests that will actually attract income rather than downtime, so that this type of guests, when they keep running your car, the utility on the car is high, so you avoid a lot of downtime. And that's very important. It brings me nicely to the next point, because when you have guests that actually have high utility, the downtime on your cars are less. You have very low downtime and very, very high utility. This is a recipe. The next point that makes a very amazing car or profitable car for Turo is the car that you have picked an optimal insurance so that you could have or make a nice exit just in case a guest runs into an incident of a crash or something happens along the way, so that you can make a nice exit from the whole situation. So optimal insurance is very important for a nice exit, just in case you run into a guest that gets into an accident, and because of that, it impedes your ability to earn with this car. So with that said, the perfect car on Turo for me was the 2010-2012 Lexus HS250H. This car is amazing. It served me for years. I've owned it for about 3 to 4 years. It makes close to $12,000 to $14,000 every year. Very little damage. Most of the people that book it are very decent people. They don't get into accidents. They don't crash the car. They're usually very productive citizens. So because of that, I don't run into no problem. The car has very high utility. I never have to worry about if it's gonna get booked or not. As a matter of fact, the problem with the car is that it gets booked too much. So sometimes the car's not even ready, or I'm not in the right mindset to get it ready or clean it up, because it just came back from a trip. And before you know it, someone books it again. So the car is always booked. So because of that, the utility is high, and the quality of clients that always book it are the type of clients that would not get it crashed. Have I gotten the Lexus HS into an accident before? Yes, it's crashed before, but it was a very minor scratch. Like I said, good quality guests, people that would make sure that the car spends more time on the road than parked, experiencing a downtime. And then the last recipe is having optimal insurance on this Lexus HS, so that when the day comes, I have it at 75% plan right now. So when the day comes, I could make a nice exit just in case I run into that one guest that happens to just have an eventful trip and the car gets into an accident. Well, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. And I almost forgot to talk about profitability. So after my calculations, I'm approximately $3,500 in the green with the Toyota Prius C 2012, the red car that you just saw. So that means I have $3,500, I have the car, and I can still sell the car, fix it, or just keep making money. So at this point, if I fix the car and put it back on Turo, I'm approximating it's gonna cost me about, say, $1,000, $1,500 to fix. So if you remove that, that would put me at $2,000 in the green. So every single dollar that the car makes from this point onwards would actually be just green dollars. So you see, it's not costing me anything anymore to own the car, basically. So the car is just making profit. So every single trip that the car makes from there will mostly be profit, besides the cost that I will incur from maintenance and other things that tend to come up in this rental car business.